Well, this is a new one today. I am biking in St. Louis, coming up from the Carondelet neighborhood, headed towards the Soulard neighborhood. The reason is I'm going to meet somebody who has apparently purchased a church and it has an organ. And they don't want the organ, so they've listed it for sale. Now, I saw the listing on Facebook Marketplace and didn't think much about it. Then somebody else sent it to me, and I looked closer, and it refers to it as an 1851 Kilgen. While there are a lot of Kilgen organs in St. Louis, George Kilgen didn't live here until 1879. So I'm really curious where they got that date from. From the pictures on the listing, there is a Kilgen nameplate on the console, but the console is not as old as the rest of the organ, I think. And in fact, there's somebody else's nameplate on there as well. Somebody's done some work, maybe just rebuild or something. From the shots inside the case, it seems to be like maybe 6 or 7 ranks, so I asked to come look at it. I hope they're not disappointed when they find out I'm not actually interested in purchasing it, especially not at the price they've listed it at of $150,000. I hope they're not upset when I tell them that they're going to be really lucky if they get anyone to take it away for basically nothing.
So I was met at the church by one of the pastors, Jacob, and his wife, Sarah. They were able to tell me the building dates from 1895, so we know the organ is later than that. It's a quaint little building that has seen lots of changes in the past 130 years. The organ is a Kilgen, but it doesn't have a Kilgen console on it. It's much more recent. In fact, there is an Allen name tag on it. And for those that know Allens, it's not a recent Allen name tag. My guess is we have a stock or a repurposed console that was attached to the organ. An oddity is that it had 2 expression shoes, one for the grate and one for the swell, but the organ only has a swell box. I just did a quick look, but I don't know if the stop names matched up exactly either. Looking inside, we can see that indeed it is an Allen. The opus number would be the Allen number, not Kilgen. But it even has Allen switches inside, so maybe the local Allen dealer at the time was the one who replaced the console and made it play the pipes. It does have a kinetic blower too, which is a little newer. The fuses had been pulled out. And it had a set of chimes on the back that have seen some repair. They have these pneumatic dampers on them, which I believe was Kilgen's thing. Now I climbed up, and this is from the back of the swell looking in. And the pipes look to be in pretty good shape. It's dusty in here. Looks like we have 5 ranks. I was looking for a number, opus number, writing, anything, and I couldn't find anything at all in here. Nothing on the chest, nothing on the swell box. The panels for the back of the swell box had been replaced with much lighter plywood than Kilgen would have used. In fact, you can see where the hinges had been knocked out. Coming back out, we can go around to the grate through this opening on the side. We see some pedal strings there, which look like they had painted mouths at one time, so maybe those used to be somewhere else. Looking in the leather on the regulators, in pretty good shape. It wasn't brand new, but it was capable of holding air, I believe. And stepping in, I found a ladder that lets you get up to the grate chests. And upon going up, I see there's actually 2 chests, one in the front, and then a second chest in the back with 2 ranks. And one little disturbing thing upon standing on this second chest is that it's not firmly attached. It actually shakes a little bit back and forth when you stand on it, so I got off of it and put my weight on the front chest, which has 5 ranks of pipes. And again, all in pretty good shape. Some of the trebles have been bent and stepped on a little bit. You can see that chest swinging back and forth there. There's a door to get into the swell, but it didn't want to open, and I didn't want to pull on it too hard. So we just left that one shut. Can't open the shades and get a peek in at the pipes. facade pipes mostly play. There's only about 10 that don't. And then over on the side, we see the pedal 16, and there are only 42 pipes, which implies that the original organ had just a 30-note pedal board. And here are switches that were added for those 2 new stops, so they're definitely aftermarket modifications there. The names are written on the toe boards. It looks like a Vox Celeste, and it looks like it says Vox Humana, which that stop definitely is not a Vox Humana, but maybe I'm not reading that right. It looked like an 8 and a 4 foot. So after I got done looking in the organ, the pastor sent me some material that he had found in the church's safe, and included was one of them that was this picture of a 2-manual pipe organ, and it says it was installed in 1914. This is obviously the same organ, except it's installed in the front and it has a mechanical action console on it. So obviously the organ was moved and electrified at some point. He also found this history of the church, which on the bottom line indicates the pipe organ was installed in 1914 and renovated in 1992. I can believe that, I guess, except that console is obviously earlier than 1992, unless, again, it's repurposed. It might have been much older, and that's when they did the work. That would make sense too, especially with the switches that were added. So it's still a guess. He also gave me a photograph of this document, which confused me at first because I just saw the date and saw the word pipe organ. And I know it's a little blurry and hard to read, but it says a good 1-manual pipe organ was installed in 1899 for the sum of, I believe it says $700. I would like to know more about that instrument and what happened to that one.
Well, so I've left the church. I've biked over to Elaine's, a favorite sandwich shop here in the Cherokee neighborhood in St. Louis. The organ was in remarkably good shape. The pipework was in good shape. There had been a little bit of damage, but the instrument was obviously cared for and taken care of by technicians who knew what they were doing. It was surprising to see an Allen console on it with no electronic additions, just switching for the pipes that were there, and plus the 2 added ranks on that strange chest in the grate. Sadly, I had to tell them, that they're going to be lucky if they can find somebody who will take the pipework for free. But that's the case with so many, redundant instruments in this town. This is the second one I've looked at in the past few weeks where the church had an instrument, but they don't want it, and they're trying to at least do something with it, not just throw it in the trash, because they realize it's a bad idea to put lead pipes in the trash. So if you're interested in this organ, leave a comment down below and I can put you in touch with the owners of the church. But for now, I'm going to finish eating my sandwich here and bike on back home and enjoy this lovely late summer weather we're getting here in October. Anyway, until next time, I'm Brent Johnson. Thanks for watching.